Hi, this is Matt Bradley-Tschirgi. I'm author of books like the films Eddie Murphy and Star Trek video games. I'm going to be doing a reaction and then go back and do some pause and analysis of this trailer for the new Mortal Kombat 2 movie. Comes out later this year. You might recall the first Mortal Kombat movie. This is like the newer series compared to the one in the 90s. Came out in 2021. So it's been 4 years. They've been taking their time with the sequel, same director. And this is the R-rated trailer, so in fact I should add something here with the content label. It's just okay, there we go, updated the stream info. So anyhow, let's get started. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to chat. We'll start by reacting, and then I'll do some commentary. So let's go. Mortal Kombat 2.
Uno mas, thanks.
You're Johnny Cage. I loved Citizen Cage when I was a kid.
Citizen Cage.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
For the 80s cheese.
Nobody wants that. Shit went out in the 90s.
So it's commentary in the Mortal Kombat.
Johnny Cage, you have been chosen to fight.
Tell me you're not some crazy fans.
It's got lightning
How are
effects.
you doing that?
Are you coming or what?
Where the hell am I?
So this is, it's like Mortal Kombat
Combat.
2. Yeah, because the tournament wasn't in that first movie from last year,
To the
or a
death.
few years ago. Oh, got the blood.
Block that.
This is a war for the fate of your world.
So they got Outworld, right, that's where the bad guys are.
I'm not some champion. If I don't have
There's
transformer
Jax.
arms or shoot
Raiden.
This shit's got nothing to do with me.
Looks like there's Liu Kang just there, and Shao Kahn. I recognize some of these characters. It's been a little bit, Baraka.
I find you annoying.
The mouth looks a bit weird. Had to do the slow motion. Is that Jade, maybe, with the staff? Got a lot of color, got the special moves. Yeah.
To become the hero you were meant to be.
That's a nice Shao Kahn look with the glowing eyes. I like it.
It's showtime.
And Scorpion, right? Of course, you gotta have that move. That's right from one of the newer games, that fatality. That angle of the thing splitting, yeah. Mortal Kombat 2.
Are you kidding me? You don't have any powers?
Just incredibly handsome.
The joke's a little weak. October 24th is when it comes out. Okay, so October with kind of, not that it's a horror movie, but you know, and now I'm going to go and kind of pause and give commentary reaction with my background. You know, I've written video game articles online for over 20 years for sites, you know, freelancing for sites like Polygon and Laser Time and Games Radar, Fanatical, things like that. And as I mentioned before, I have books. If you go on Amazon, look up my name, Matt Bradley-Tschirgi. I should probably have that on here. I have done books like on Star Trek video games. I have one coming up that I'll be talking about soon. That should be pretty cool. And yeah, so good stuff. Also did a book on the films Eddie Murphy, which is cool. And used to do a video game music radio show way back in 2004, 2005 when I was on SCAD radio on Savannah College Art and Design when I was in college for the undergrad. So yeah, let's go and do some commentary on the Mortal Kombat trailer. And I want to just make it so I can see the chat here. Just a second. I had the chat Docs visible. There it is. I see what happened. Okay, I'm just going to move in case someone chats so I can respond to it. There we go. Let's keep on going. Alright, so we're going to go. Let's get to it. So, rated R. Let's do some analysis of the trailer. Okay, so that's Johnny Cage. He's been in all the games since the first one. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, out of the Mortal Kombat stuff, I've played all the games. Except for the latest Mortal Kombat 1 game. I was waiting for another price drop, and that one didn't do as well. It was kind of a soft time travel reboot. They've been doing the time travel kind of what-if storylines in the Mortal Kombat stories for a while now. But there's Johnny Cage. Played by Carl Urban. I got to see him speak live at Rose City Comic Con in Portland, Oregon a few years ago. And I asked him a question about doing Lord of the Rings and how he thought it compared to the processes on the Hobbit films later on. And Carl Urban was young in Lord of the Rings as I think one of the Knights of Gondor or something. Oh, it's been a while. He's but anyhow, here he's Johnny Cage is like it was really in the original game supposed to be Jean-Claude Van Damme, but he didn't want to do it, so it was like a spoof of Jean-Claude Van Damme or Steven Seagal. They're definitely going for that here. And he's at the bar drinking. You get some product placement, Miller Lite in the background. I wonder if we're going to see Mortal Kombat themed Miller Lite things going on.
Uno mas, thanks.
So then he says Uno mas, thanks. Just from a linguistics perspective, and I speak English, some Spanish, and a little bit of Japanese, and barely a scooch of German. That's barely worth mentioning. But yeah, Uno mas, please. That's not. I mean, it's a movie, right? But I mean, that's not you. You just say Uno mas, or you could just, you can probably just lift your hand and they just give you another drink, right? Is the way to do it. You would say Uno mas, please, because the please, I think, is implied in Spanish. You don't have to be as formal as in Japanese when you're at a bar ordering a drink.
You're Johnny Cage.
So that's, kind of a fan is recognizing Johnny Cage in that first of the more recent Mortal Kombat movies. You were teased with the Johnny Cage poster at the end, and there wasn't even the Mortal Kombat tournament in the movie. I think that movie's really poor. This one already from the trailer is looking a lot better. I'm liking that pink neon in the background, and you get kind of the colored stuff going on in his hair. Not bad.
I love Citizen Cage.
Citizen Cage, a pun on Citizen Kane. I think kind of a lazy one at that, but okay. There's another trailer that I might do a video on some other time where it's like a spoof movie trailer of one of Johnny Cage's things, and I bet you that's the intro to the film. But we see him looking kind of beleaguered, looking in the mirror.
When I was a kid.
He has to have those sunglasses, right?
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
They should do a reboot.
And so he's saying they should do a reboot, and that's kind of... Well, it is tongue-in-cheek, right? Because these Mortal Kombat movies are a reboot of the ones from the 90s. It's worth mentioning, too, in the 90s you had an animated cartoon that was one season. Maybe, I'm pretty sure it just was one, Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, and then a live-action show on TNT called Mortal Kombat Conquest. It was like a prequel about Kung Lao that, even though it was on basic cable, couldn't get that violent, but I thought it was still I think that was a good-looking series. I thought the cinematography was cool. Anyway, there's Johnny Cage, JC, on the jacket.
Nobody wants that. Shit went out in the 90s.
So he's washed up, right? He says that shit went out in the 90s. We could see his vanity plate said Showtime. We can see this is one of his posters or something in his car. Uncaged Fury is one of them. Again, so very much with the way the poster looks, very much looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme or Steven Seagal. Early 90s stuff. I would say even the direct-to-video things we got in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Johnny Cage.
Oh, there's Raiden with Sonya Blade, I believe. And so, in the Joseph Campbell mythic kind of, plot structure, there's the refuser of the call where he tells someone, we need you, and he's like, oh, I don't need you. And then something happens, which is like, oh, I'm going to have to do this. So we kind of see a shortened version of that structure in this scene.
You have been chosen to fight.
So Raiden, I don't remember if he was in the Mortal Kombat movie from a few years ago. It's been a while since I've seen it. That'd be neat to do a review of, actually, but it's because it's been a while. But yeah, I think it's, pretty, it's not Christophe Lambert. But, good stuff there. Then we got Sonya Blade, right, is next to him. So typical good guys in the series.
Tell me you're not some crazy fans.
So he thinks it's a fan, just like in the bar. I don't know if it goes in this order in the movie, but I presume so. We're getting a lot of Act 1 stuff, setting up the story. In Raiden, we can see they're shooting his lightning, because he's the god of thunder.
How are you doing that?
Are you coming or what?
So, are you coming or what? I guess they're going to transport him or something. And it's for, in the 90s, Mortal Kombat film directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, the way it got Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage and everyone into the tournament was like on a boat, and they all were. It was, I think, kind of a more organic way than this. I think it looks like they was trying to teleport him to where the tournament is. It would be my guess. Although maybe we get a bit of a road trip. I don't know. But that movie took its time before you got to the island and before they were doing that tournament. And that it's a Mortal Kombat movie with the actual Mortal Kombat tournament in it. Makes sense. I mean, Mortal Kombat, that one from 2021, among the other reasons why I didn't like it, is it was a prequel that kind of, for a series that's not the strongest on plot, it just looked and felt cheap. It felt like it was shot in a few warehouses, other than the really cool, like, prequel Japanese thing. I wasn't too crazy about it. Kind of a Star Trek effect. Carl Urban was Bones in the 3 more recent Star Trek films. I say more recent, even that last one I think was like 10 years ago at this time. New Line Cinema, who, did the original Mortal Kombat movies in the 90s. So I like that logo. They did The Mask. They did so many. They were one of the best companies to put out DVDs back in the day with the special features. The New Line Platinum series.
Where the hell am I?
So again, he doesn't know where he is. That's Katana. Again, one of the... There's a lot of good guys so far. We'll see bad guys coming up here.
It's called Mortal Kombat.
So is he fighting Katana here? Or are they just kind of doing like a flirty sort of scene? Is there going to be a romance between Liu Kang and Katana? Like they did in the movies? Not sure.
It's a fighting tournament.
Yep, it's a fighting... That should be all the exposition you need. It's a fighting tournament, and people fight. People come for this for the action scenes. And maybe some kind of cheesy jokes and people getting kicked in the nuts. You don't really, expect like the Lord of the Rings kind of story off of this. And yet some of this tone seems a bit too somber.
To the death.
It's a tournament to the death, and then here we get Kung Lao fighting... I don't recognize this character from the game. He could be from the games, that's possible, but it just seems like a random dude to me. You get blood, that's nice.
Fuck that.
And it's our trailer, so he says, fuck that, and that's Johnny Cage's attitude. He is refusing the call, he's not wanting to do it. Refusing the quest, and yet what happens? And Shao Kahn has his big hammer. This October with all the blood and stuff. Yeah, that's a good release date for Mortal Kombat. I think the original one was like in the summer, and I saw it in theaters maybe 3 times. As I was in like middle school, maybe 7th grade or something when that film came out. This is the Outworld. I like it looks like one of the stages in the game, but the swirling blue stuff in the background looks good.
This is a war for the fate of you.
So Raiden is, he said it's a war for the fate of your world. I didn't catch who he was talking to there, but we get, Earth, obviously. That was Kano right there. This guy was, I think the guy's name was Cole. He was the original character they created. He had this armor power in that 2021 movie. I think the character's really bland. I know they made him up as someone that doesn't know about this universe, who's an in for the audience, who's an avatar for the audience, right? But that's not what is. I don't think that's really needed. It's a Mortal Kombat is a franchise with a lot of characters, right? I believe that's Jade with the staff, and the green.
I'm not some champion. I don't.
There's Jax, who was in the first movie, has the metal arms. Looks like he's fighting Jade there. That has to be Jade, because with the thing covering the face.
Have transformer arms.
And Johnny Cage is saying, I'm no one special, I don't have transformer arms. Like, if we're going to make the comparison, like Batman, he's just a regular guy in an unusual kind of world, right? More lightning effects, they seem to use those a lot.
Or shoot lightning bolts.
That briefly with the fire looked like Liu Kang. That he was such a focus of the 90s movies and he's not in the trailer is a choice. But again, there's so many characters, what are you going to focus on? Johnny Cage, I think, is the easier sell. And in fact, that outfit Sonya Blade is wearing is a bit similar to some of the stuff she was wearing in the 90s film. Different actress, of course.
It's got nothing to do with me.
Got fire. Maybe it's Liu Kang attacking Shao Kahn. That's a nice scene. Although it's the same director, I think it already looks nicer. They certainly spent more money on this than the 2021 film.
I'm an actor.
And this is the trailer from the trailer within a trailer that's that you can find online for, I think it's Uncaged Fury, or it's one of those, one of his direct-to-video things. And he's fighting Baraka, who's introduced to Mortal Kombat 2 with the claw arms and the spiky teeth. I don't think there's a whole lot to the character, but it's an iconic look for the villain, for one of the bad guys, and he was in a lot of the marketing. And I believe in the Outworld, they're kind of like the orcs, the Uruk-hai in Lord of the Rings, where there's just a lot of people that are of this race, whatever it is. That mouth, I really don't like how that looks. Of course it's CG, and you could do it practically if you wanted, but I think it's too many teeth is the problem I have with it. I think it's a bit over-designed. I think just having the two big jaws, or not jaws, the pointy teeth, and the rest like smaller spiky things would read a bit better. And this, it's like so many spiky things, it's kind of overly detailed for my liking. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, as Dennis Miller used to say.
Not the face.
Not the face. That's an actor thing, right? You want to protect the face because that's the moneymaker. And Johnny Cage is going to fight Baraka. Great. And he can shoot spikes, which he does in the game too. And here we get slow motion, which it has its time and its place. And if you I think a little bit goes a long way. But they use slow motion like it was nothing else in a lot of 90s and 80s action movies that are Claude Van Damme stuff. So we see Jade is going to fight Katana, I guess. That was neat with the colorful clouds there. I'm not quite sure who that was. I think this is... Oh, it's been so long. I don't remember the names, but there's the lady with the long hair that screams. Is she a mistress of Shao Kahn or something like that?
It's time.
That was Scorpion right there saying it's time with the mask off, and you get, good guys versus bad guys, and is Earth gonna win or this time or not? Canonically, in the first video game, they lose, and so you have Outworlds start to take over Earth, which would be is what they teased at the end of the Mortal Kombat 1 movie. And if they did a similar ending in this Mortal Kombat 2 movie, I wouldn't be surprised. Or like a happy end, or they did a happy ending that was a fake out actually, which I think was pretty effective with a cool piece of music, Halcyon and on and on. I forget the artist on that, but there you go. But yeah, let's go.
To become the hero.
You gotta become the hero again. Very self-serious dialogue, but whatever. I mean, this, get the nice backlighting with Shao Kahn coming down the stairs. Shao Kahn's a real doofus, I think, in that Mortal Kombat Annihilation movie. That's the second of the original ones. But there you go.
You were meant to be.
Alright, you bigger.
This shot I like. You get the little glowing eyes. You get the profile of the character there with the backlit. It makes him look more scary. Sometimes in full lighting, the Mortal Kombat outfits can look a bit ridiculous. So, that they still kept the R rating is cool. A little effective with the box office, yeah. But the fans also that were underage probably when a lot of them were, when playing the original game, can see the sequel and think it's something pretty cool there.
Holy fuck.
Because the violence, the fatality stuff, right, is part of the appeal. You want to see what crazy moves there are. And Johnny Cage is doing his little pose from the game.
It's showtime.
It's showtime, he says. So where do you go from there? In kind of a hell environment for Scorpion, which is part of a scene in the 90s movie. I think we're getting a lot of references to that. Whether intentional or not, I'm not sure. That he's traveling makes it feel a bit platformy. It reminds me of Sub-Zero Mythologies. He kind of surfs on there and leaps off. That's alright. It's a bit showy, but fine. I mean, Mortal Kombat's supposed to be like Highlander, right? It's supposed to be a bit over the top, so I think more humor is where I'd rather have things than this kind of ponderous, self-serious dialogue of, there is time for heroes and villains. Can you rise up to the power, Johnny Cage? Get over here, classic Scorpion line. You gotta have that in every trailer, every commercial. I bet it's gonna have that. That's what people come to see. And this is the fatality to... That almost looks like smoke or something, but it's so brief I can't really tell who it is. There's a lot of characters that are ninjas that, especially in the older games, were palette swaps. Meaning they filmed live-action footage of these stunt people dressed as one ninja, and they used the computer to recolor it. But here he's pulling the skeleton and organs and stuff out of the body. This is one of the fatalities in some of the more recent games. And then he stabs it and slices it in half. This angle right out of the fatalities of some of the more recent games. If you thought the 90s ones were gory, they really, really go into it, I think, over the top in a trauma way. But in some ways also more realistic as well. Like, I'm not grossed out by this, but at the same time, there's something nice about the more kind of fantasy aspect of it, of the older titles. Scorpion had his knife, which he does, and here we get the logo. The two with the glowing green eye and the dragon around it is a little cheesy. And I know the dragon's always in the logo, right? But it's still... the glowing green eye makes me think Reptile's going to be in the movie, because they did the same stuff with the marketing for Mortal Kombat Annihilation in the late 90s. Finish him, of course, there's going to get another fatality, I guess. And Kun Lao has the hat. That's kind of like Oddjob in... Well, it is like Oddjob in James Bond, where he throws the hat, it can cut people's heads off and stuff. So now we see Johnny Cage looks a bit beleaguered and sweaty.
Are you kidding me? You're not...
I'm not sure if this is... Well, it's not Kano, because it's not the eye patch, but I don't know if this is a random person or a character they made up for the movie, or some fighter I don't recognize from the more recent games.
3 pounds? Just incredibly handsome.
So it says, oh, you're kidding me, you don't have special powers. He's like just incredibly handsome. So he is delivering it a bit tongue-in-cheek, but at the same time sounding like a tough guy. That's a fine line to cross. I'll be curious as to how he'll do it. Well, maybe that is Kano, because now he's shooting the laser out of the eye, and we see a shocked Carl Urban. Only in theaters. Filmed for IMAX. I mean, did they shoot the whole thing in IMAX? Probably not. Did they do some scenes in IMAX? Sure. I haven't followed that much of the production that closely. And there's the trailer. So, I mean, what do you think of this Mortal Kombat 2 trailer? Are you going to go see it in theaters? What do you think? Let me know what you think about it. Post down in the comments below. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time I do another one of these Matt's Movie News on these kind of genre, video game, comic booky movies. Alright, see ya.